Hi guys, and welcome to my top 10 Legend of Zelda games. Just a quick reminder, only 35% of you guys watching are subscribed, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also comment below. Number 10, Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Now I know these two games are different games, but their plot is tied together, and they're pretty similar games. The reason this game is on my top 10 list is because it has great dungeons, a pretty good story, and Oracle of Seasons, you can change the seasons to solve puzzles, and in Oracle of Ages, you can go from the past to the present to solve puzzles. I also think these two games are really great how the story ties together, and how the story and the characters are pretty good. I also think that for being Game Boy Color games, these games have a really big world, and the animation looks really great. Not only is the world big, but you can also travel through different worlds. Like in Seasons, you can travel to Subrosia, and in Ages, you can travel from the past and the present. I also really like the music too, and that's why Oracle of Ages and Seasons are my 10th favorite Zelda games. Number 9, Link's Awakening. To be honest, this game probably wouldn't have made my list if it hadn't have been for the remake made last year. But the remake made last year was really great, and it was a really great remake of a Legend of Zelda game. Link's Awakening has some of the best dungeons in 2D Zelda games, including Eagle's Tower, Face Shrine, and Angler's Tunnel. The story in this game is also really good, as well as the music. My only complaints about this game are that the game is relatively short, and it's kinda hard to know what you're doing, and there's also not a lot of side content. But luckily, they added more side content, including a dungeon maker in the new remake. Number 8, A Link Between Worlds. This game was the true successor to the 3DS, and it has a great story, as well as great characters, great reorchestrations of the old Link to the Past songs, as well as some new songs from the soundtrack that are a welcome addition. It also includes the parallel world of Lorule, which is the opposite of Hyrule, and the main plot of the story involves Lorule losing their Triforce and trying to steal the one from Hyrule. The only major problem with this game is how similar it is to the Link to the Past. The underworld is exactly the same, and the dungeons are pretty similar. But it does add a few cool new characters. I also like how you can turn into paintings and use that to solve puzzles and get past obstacles. Overall, A Link Between Worlds is a pretty solid Legend of Zelda game. Number 7, The Wind Waker. Now a lot of the people consider this game the best Legend of Zelda game, but I don't really like the cartoon art style, and I also don't think the dungeons, other than the Earth Temple, are that good. I do really like the focus on sea exploration though. And the story, characters, and music are all really good too. I also really like the boss battles in this game too. I also like it because it's on the GameCube, and the GameCube has one of the best controllers of all time. And not only that, I also think that the Wind Waker works perfectly with the GameCube controller. But between the music, the controls, the exploration, as well as the story, I think this game is very great, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone who wants to play another Legend of Zelda game. Number 6. A Link to the Past. This game is by far my favorite 2D Zelda game. With a humongous open world, with a great story with a plot twist, as well as good dungeons and really great items. This game also introduces some new songs that will be very important in future Legend of Zelda games, including Zelda's Lullaby, Hyrule Castle, Ganon's Tower, and the Dark World theme. This game also created the Legend of Zelda algorithm, which is very important for future game success, as well as its own. This game has a massive overworld, underworld, as well as a whopping 11 dungeons. And speaking of dungeons, this game was the first Legend of Zelda game to do dungeons the right way. Number 5. Ocarina of Time. This is a really great Legend of Zelda game. The dungeons, story, music, as well as the overworld are all really great. And also the characters are superb too. The only bad things about this game are sometimes it's hard to know what you're doing, and the item progression is very difficult, and the water temple. But the Shadow Temple, as well as the Forest Temple, and the Fire Temple are some of the best dungeons in Legend of Zelda. This is also the first 3D Legend of Zelda game, and it did it really well. Also, how you can travel between the past and the future is very cool. The music in this game is some of the best that the series has to offer, including Zelda's Lullaby, the title theme, Saria's song, and also the dungeon themes are very frightening, which goes really well with the dungeon's dark feel. But overall, Ocarina of Time is a really great game. Number 4. Skyward Sword. This game does some things really well and some things pretty bad. The story, dungeons, music, as well as the characters are all really great. But sometimes it's hard to know what you're doing, and it doesn't feel very open world at all. And while some people don't like the motion controls in this game, I actually really like them, but I don't think they should do it for another game. I also like how the art style in this game is a mix between Wind Waker's cel-shaded and Twilight Princess' more realistic art style. This game definitely has some of the best dungeons in the series, including the Sand Ship, the Lanayru mining facility, the Ancient Cistern, as well as a lot of other good dungeons. Also, this game takes place at the very beginning of the Zelda timeline. I also really like the combat, especially against battles such as Stallmaster, Girahim, and Galactos. This game also has really great items, as well as one of the best soundtracks in this series. I definitely recommend this for a Legend of Zelda fan who has a Wii or a Wii U. Number 3. Majora's Mask. This game is a lot darker than its previous title, Ocarina of Time. Also, this game was made in only about a year. But the story, gameplay, dungeons, characters, as well as the music are all some of the best in the series. Also, this game does not take place in Hyrule. It takes place in the parallel world of Termina, where Link has 3 days to stop the moon from falling. This game also has a fairly large world, considering how long it took to make this game. This game also features transformation masks, which can change Link to a Zora, Deku, or a Goron, and there are also many other masks with their own special effects. The only things really wrong with this game are how similar it is to Ocarina of Time, because they reused a lot of the character models, as well as it only having 4 dungeons. However, with the Stone Tower Temple and the Snowhead Temple, Majora's Mask does have some pretty great dungeons. Number 2. Breath of the Wild. This is the newest mainline Legend of Zelda game. This game is the second Legend of Zelda game to be completely open world. This game has really great exploration, as well as music and items. It also is really unique compared to the other games. However, similarly to Skyward Sword, this game does some things really well, and some things pretty bad. However, this game really lacks in dungeons, story, characters, and the music is good, but there isn't any music that really sticks out. And while that is a lot of things that are not in favor of Breath of the Wild, the exploration is amazing, and it almost completely makes up for that. Also, one of the best parts about this game is the combat. This game introduces some very unique combat, such as Flurry Rush, the Champion's moves, as well as Shield Surfer. This game takes a lot of aspects from the previous Legend of Zelda games and makes it even better. This game also is one of the first Legend of Zelda games to completely go away from the Zelda algorithm. I'm very excited for its prequel, Age of Calamity, as well as its sequel that will probably be coming out next year. Now for some honorable mentions. Number 1. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This game does a lot of things really well, including it has the best soundtrack of all the Zelda games, it has amazing dungeons, great items, it has an awesome balance between open worldness and linearity, and it also has really good combat. It also has some of the best character development. This game is probably the second darkest Legend of Zelda game after Majora's Mask. This game is really good controls. You can choose between the GameCube version with no motion controls, the Wii version with motion controls, or the Wii U version that uses some of both. This game also by far has the most realistic art style of any of the Legend of Zelda games. This game also has Midna as your companion, which is one of the best companions in the Legend of Zelda series.
This game also has a great balance between easy and hard. Some of the best dungeons in this game include Arbiter's Grounds, City in the Sky, Hyrule Castle, Temple of Time, and also, this game has a water temple that's actually kind of good. Those are just some of the reasons why Twilight Princess is my favorite Legend of Zelda game. But what are your thoughts? What are your favorite Legend of Zelda games? Tell me in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.